Hello, my friends on the internet. This is day 236 of me making an app to end doom scrolling, to get you off of your phone, and to, in general, help people do more of what they actually want to do. Because our phones are addicting. They're heavily addicting. And they can make it very easy to do nothing all day. Well, actually, or feeling like you're doing everything all day, but actually doing nothing. That's what I meant to say. So today I want to talk about doing stuff. And yes, this is also a video about how the app looks, what it's going, how it's going, because I have made some progress in the last day since my last video, which is basically, I'm going to show you now. But I also want to talk about how important it is just to get started, just to get going, because 11 months ago I didn't really know what to code. Now you're looking at this to my left, to my right. Um, and this is something that I built, I coded, which is insane. So let me show you first, before I tell you the story of how all that happened, how the app works and how it helps you scroll less on TikTok or use your phone less and do more of the things you genuinely want to do. So here it goes. The app's called Curiosity Quench. It is linked down in the description if you want to check it out. But basically, you're going to come here and you're going to find something you're interested in. You're not going to block the other apps. We don't do that. The whole purpose is just to find something that you're genuinely interested in learning or doing. Now, once you find something, you can add to your list by clicking the bookmark icon. This saves the thing. And then you can swipe right in your Save tab or in the Unexplored tab to actually do that thing. So we're going to go with social psychology. If we swipe right, it creates us a plan. These are called action plans. This means you can actually use it to take action. These plans aren't always perfect. Sometimes the equipment you need for certain things may be costly. I'm going to add a budget feature, so that's not a thing. And sometimes it's a bit vague, but I've added this really cool feature recently where if you don't really know how to do something, let's say take notes on key concepts, like how do you take notes properly? You can hold down this and break it down. So if we press this button, it's going to break down that step into more steps. Before, I had a help dialog, which was okay, but this I think is a bit more useful, is you can check it off and actually keep going by, doing this thing, by doing these other little things, which makes it easier. If you get stuck, you can break things down into smaller steps. I think this is very helpful, and recently I made it so before, if you just checked off 9 steps, it would prompt you that you're done the plan. Now you actually have to check off all the steps to complete the plan, which is kind of how it's supposed to work. Obviously, you could check off things you want to skip if you want to quench the plan. Quenching means you actually did the thing, by the way, if you didn't know. And once you've done all the things, you can then quench it. Right now, I haven't made it so you can actually break down more than one thing. It breaks after that. But I'm going to make it so you can basically break down things infinitely and, yeah, break the things down into their most basic, simple instructions. So it's really easy. But yeah, once you check off all the steps, you can then upload a photo or take some notes and press the quench it button. This means you actually did the thing, you took action, and you get some confetti because you should celebrate your wins. You should celebrate when you do something you enjoy. Especially because if you're using Curiosity Quench, the app I built, this app right here, you're picking something that you're interested in, something you have a genuine curiosity about, and you're doing it. So doing that is a lot more progressive, probably, for your soul, for your life, than scrolling on social media. That's the assumption. Maybe it's wrong. You're going to have to decide that for yourself by trying and doing. And speaking of doing, another thing that I wanted to talk about today, what is probably more important than worrying about how you're going to get off social media is getting started, okay? So with the Curiosity Quench, the whole purpose behind the plans are that you get started. You just do the first step. If you do the other steps, that's great. But you cannot do the second step or the third or the fourth or the fifth if you never started the plan on the first step or you never started the plan at all. The key way to keep going is actually just to get started. And getting started is no harder than keeping going. In reality, it feels like it is, but it's about the same effort to do step 1 as it is to do step 4. And the only way you can do the steps after the first is if you took the first. So basically, what I'm trying to say is you just literally have to do anything and keep going. An example of this in the real world is if you want to write a book, a really good book, you're going to have to write a crappy book first, probably, or an okay book. You're going to have to write a lot before you get to being good. It's just how it is. I mean, it's okay. That's great, actually. It means that the barriers to entry, most people will not surpass it. Most people will probably concede. And that's why the great books are harder to write, because less people can write them. I mean, kind of goes without saying, but my first book was a messy brain dump. You can go buy it. It's still pretty good. I actually like it. I'm proud of it still. But it's my first book. My second book's about to be 100 times better because my first wasn't that great. I hired a developmental editor. I learned about structure, I solving a problem, and so much more things that are going to help me make the second book better. Because I wrote the first book, because I got started, and because I kept going. You cannot keep going if you cannot get started, and you're not really going to go anywhere if you never try. So, Curiosity Quench is built with that premise in mind. You have to get started. Breaking things down into a simple plan helps people actually get started. They have direction, they can follow it, then after they realize they have their own autonomy, they can continue to do more of the things that they actually enjoy instead of scrolling on their phone. Yeah, I know it's a lot. I know it's a mouthful. I know it's a mindful. But that's kind of how I think Curiosity Quench works. And the first version I made of Curiosity Quench kind of followed this premise too. I didn't know how to code the first version I made. I just made it. It was laggy, it was glitchy. For the first 3 months, nothing worked. And now it has, 11 months later, 30,000 users. So I'm version 20, not version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20. And it also went from a web app to a mobile app. So you have to get started as soon as possible. And you have to keep going. You cannot keep going if you do not get started. And the more stupid or clueless you feel while learning, the more progress you're probably making. Anyways, I think that's it for today. I'm going to go continue to learn, make progress, feel a bit silly, and make my app, Curiosity Quench, better so it can help you more. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully not, though. Go touch some grass. I love you. Take care. Follow your curiosity and keep